Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Intermediate. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the program. My name is Kyle. As always, I'll be with you for the next 20 minutes or so, reviewing today's content in the course. Here we are in class number 174, and we'll get started with a little review of yesterday. We looked at some interesting things yesterday, including the verb to have, and then the structure I have a pen versus I've got a pen. And personally, I'll say it one more time, I always encourage the simple have form because it works in every tense, whereas the have got form doesn't work in the past. I have a pen. Yesterday I had a pen. I've got a pen. Yesterday I had a pen. There's no other way to say it. So I encourage this have structure. So let's practice by changing from the have got form into the more simple have form. Have they got a new one? And you can say, do they have a new one? So we're using the auxiliary verb just like we do with any other verb, right? If I say, for example, do you walk home? Do you have a pen? It's the same. I'm applying the auxiliary verb like I do with any other verb. Do you walk to school? Do you eat lunch at home? Do you have a bicycle? It's really grammatically the same. This have got structure, have you got, is a grammatical abnormality, which you may choose to use, but I don't recommend it to my students because I find it's like opening a can of worms. So, another one here. Have they got more than us? You can say, do they have more than us? I think we've got more than 100 people in the building. I think we have more than 100 people in the building. So give me the equivalent out loud, en voz alta, out loud. She said they've got an old guitar in the basement. She said they have an old guitar in the basement. He thinks he's got a major problem. He thinks he has a major problem. Okay? No problem, right? Piece of cake. Now we can move on. But before I do, just one more final reminder. Remember, that simple have form works in every tense. The have got works in the present. It's perfectly fine in the present, but it doesn't convert to the past. We have to say I had. We can't say I had got in the past. Now as we look on at the verb to ask, again a little review, ask, which is pedir, or also preguntar. So to ask for, preguntar por algo, or también pedir algo, to ask for, next time I go to that restaurant, I'm going to ask for the chicken. The chicken is delicious. I think I'm going to ask for the chicken. Excuse me, I'd like the chicken, please. Can I have the chicken? I'm asking for the chicken. Now, when there's an indirect object, we put it between the ask and the for. For example, I asked him for a book. I asked him for help with the project. I asked him for some assistance. I asked her. I didn't ask him. I asked her for advice. I didn't ask him for advice. So, give me an affirmative answer. Are you going to ask for the bill? Yes, I'm going to ask for the bill. Are you going to ask for it in English? Yes, I'm going to ask for it in English. Are you going to ask for it politely? Yes, I'm going to ask for it politely. Did you ask for help? Yes, I asked. So remember, I asked. We have the K there, ending in the K. So in the past, like all verbs ending in a K, we have the T sound. Asked, asked, looked, checked. Okay, the K, we have to squeeze a T sound in there. There's no extra syllable, but we're squeezing in that T sound. Asked, checked, looked. Okay? Okay. Did you ask for help? Yes, I asked for help. Did you ask an expert for help? Yes, I asked an expert for help. Now, how would you say in English? ¿Conseguiste lo que pediste? Did you get what you asked for? Did you get what you asked for? Le pedí a él un puro. I asked him for a cigar. Les pregunté, pero no contestaron. Les pregunté, pero no contestaron. I asked them, but they didn't answer. I asked them, closing my mouth with the letter M, I asked them, but they didn't answer. ¿Vas a pedir la cuenta? Are you going to ask for the bill? Are you going to ask for the bill? Good. All right. So there you go. The verb to ask. I have another radio show called The Verb Circus. And I did, where on that program, I study one verb for 30 minutes, practicing inside out, forming questions, giving answers, translation, different uses, expressions, phrasal verbs, everything related to the verb. It airs here on Vaughan Radio Mondays and Fridays at 6 o'clock. And I did a whole episode about the verb to ask one day. The verb to ask. Yes. If you want to get that episode, you can ask for it. You can write to Vaughan Radio and say, I'd love to get that episode. And hopefully they can get it for you. But it's actually available on a CD as well. We have a CD available of all those episodes of the Verb Circus. If you're interested, you can find out about it on the website, vaughantienda.com. Well, let's move on now and take a look at our word of the day. Word of the day. All right, it's time for our word of the day. And our word of the day today is pace. Pace, which is ritmo. Pace. I can't stand the pace. No puedo aguantar el ritmo. The pace. To keep up the pace. To keep the pace. So imagine like a song, we have a rhythm. In music, we typically say rhythm, but the pace is like the speed of it, you know? So, for example, in the Tour de France, we have Lance Armstrong. Very few racers can keep the pace of Lance Armstrong. Well, Alberto Contador from Pinto, Spain, he can keep the pace. He can keep the pace. He can keep pace with. Because to keep pace, he can keep pace with Lance Armstrong. But not very many racers can keep pace with Lance Armstrong. Not very many racers can keep his pace, can maintain that rhythm or speed when cycling. So pace, P-A-C-E. Now a pace, as a noun, a pace is also a step. If we say, walk 5 paces and turn right, then it means take 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then turn. So a pace is essentially a step of equal distance, typically a long step, and we very often use this for calculating an approximate distance. So we planted the trees 5 paces from each other, for example. You plant one tree in the ground, and then you pace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you plant another tree. Okay? So pace. We have the verb to pace as well. When we're taking those steps, those paces, we can say pace out 5. Go 5 paces. P-A-C-E-S, paces. But pace, more commonly known as ritmo, the pace. So, it's time to move on and pick up the pace, accelerate a little bit as we move into the new material here for class number 174. And we can look at 2 interesting verbs. It focuses here on the verb to rise, but I will also look at the verb, the sweet sister of the verb to rise, which is the verb to raise. Now, I mentioned my program, The Verb Circus. I did a show all about this as well. Rise and raise. So here, to rise, ascender, subir. To rise. Now, this is what we call an intransitive verb. That means it doesn't require an object. Rise does not require an object to do the motion. The sun rises every morning. The sun rises in the east. El sol sale por el este. The sun rises in the east. Also to ascend through ranks, like in military. Juan ascendió al rango del comandante. John rose to the rank of major. Yes, he rose. He went up to reach that rank. So, yes, the sun rises in the east. And then we have the other verb to raise, R-A-I-S-E, which is more like hacer subir, elevar. Accionar hacia arriba. Izar, levantar. So this is a transitive verb. So a transitive verb requires an object. So I raised my hand. Kyle, me. I raised my hand. My hand rose. Rise, rose, risen. Rise, rose, risen. The intransitive verb, rise. Now the transitive verb, transitive meaning it requires an object, is raise. Raise, raised, raised. This is a regular verb. My hand rose when I raised it. The sun rises in the east. I don't raise it. It just simply rises. Hopefully, my boss will raise my salary. If he raises my salary will rise. I would love my salary to rise. It would be great. Yes. So here we have the difference between rise and raise. We can practice with a little bit of translation. Está subiendo. It's rising. It's rising. Necesitamos levantar la moral en esta empresa. So we have to cause it to go up. So we say, we need to raise the morale in this company. La moral. We need to raise the morale in this company. Levantemos nuestras copas y brindemos. Let's raise our glasses and toast. When we raise our glasses, what's going to happen to the glasses? The glasses are going to rise. The glasses rose yesterday when we raised them. So rise and raise. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day, our 5 words of vocabulary. Our first word is último, a rip-off. What a rip-off. It's too expensive. That's a rip-off. Último. Inmediato, rápido, pronto. Here we have prompt. Espíritu. Spirit. Lo siguiente. lo siguiente, the following. The following. The following is very important. The following, lo siguiente. Duplicar. Duplicar. To double. To double. If you double your effort, your learning will more than double. Yes. I recommend that you double your effort. If you double your effort, right? If you double your effort, I promise you will make substantially better improvement with your English. It reminds me of the scene in Star Wars, the first movie from 1977, when I believe it's the general is speaking with Darth Vader, and he's explaining to him that the progress of the Death Star that they were building, the evil empire, they're building this Death Star. And he says to Darth Vader, well, we're behind schedule. It's not going so well. And then Darth Vader says to him, you can explain that to the Emperor when he comes to visit. And, well, not in those words exactly. And then the guy says, the general says to Darth Vader, the Emperor is coming here. And he's very scared. He says, yes, he's coming here. And then the general says, we shall double our efforts. We shall double our efforts. We will duplicar nuestro esfuerzo. We'll double our efforts, he said. Yes. So to double. So we had a rip-off, un timo, a rip-off, prompt, inmediato, rápido, pronto. Espíritu, spirit. Lo siguiente, the following, and duplicar, to double. To double, and of course, 3 times would be to triple. To double and then to triple. Now, we can move on and take a look at the last thing here today we have is can and to be able to. 2 ways of saying poder. Can and to be able to. Now, can is used typically in reference to our capacities and things that we are capable of doing. I can cook tortilla. I can skate on ice. I can speak English. However, this is used in the present, but in the past, we don't use could. I could skate. No. Here's where we use to be able to. So in the past, we would say, I was able to. The last time I was in Canada, I was able to see a lot of relatives. The last time I was there, I was able to go skiing. When I was young, I was able to run faster than I can run now. Right? When I was young, I was able to run faster than I can run now. All right, I will be able to practice this more tomorrow. I'm sure I can practice it more tomorrow. And we will do just that because we're out of time. But I hope you'll keep listening. I'm going to take a break. But I'll be back in a few minutes with the with the advanced portion of today's class. So keep listening. The more you listen, the more you will improve. And keep working hard. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.